I do have an issue, but I kind of know the answer, and it's a challenge to share. But I'll just take a quick 3 minutes. But got a listing, um, and it's been on the market for almost 2 weeks, and I've had one showing in 2 weeks. I've done three open houses, got probably 5 or 6 groups through, mostly neighbors because I door knock the neighborhood. But it's just it's a challenge. I've never had a listing to have one showing in almost 2 weeks in all of my years in doing this. So it's a challenge. I mean, and I've Facebook Marketplace, I've boosted ads, I've door knocked, you know, I've done a lot of marketing, um, Instagram, everything. So, but in my experience, I mean, is either location, is either the house, or is either the price.
Are you doing the,
I know it's the price.
I'm sorry, have you yourself been doing the open houses?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so what is your question, and how can we
Um,
help you?
my question is, does anybody have any other reason other than what I think it is? Is that it's the price? It's the price that's possibly um, got this thing moving so slow. And any other has anybody had any issues with the listing not having showings, and what was their solution to the problem?
Assuming you've got condition and location, nailed down. What was the feedback you got from the one showing?
Not interested.
Because
Price.
okay, well, and so I had a similar situation one time in Granite Falls where I had two showings, and I poked with the buyer's agent. I got the same thing. They're not interested. Price, and so I asked. I says, "Well, what were you guys thinking? I mean, your buyer, gave you that they liked the house and they liked the yard, and there were some positives she said about it, and but they were concerned about the price. What were they thinking?" And lo and behold, I knew what the issue was as well. I was overpriced. My seller kind of pushed me into going on the high end. I was pretty adamant about it, and I knew a price cut was coming. And so I basically, just before I did anything with the seller, I tried to work with that buyer's agent. Lo and behold, I got them to put something on paper that was 10,000 less, and then I took that back to the seller, and hey, this is what we've got. We've got 2 weeks. We've got one showing, and I do have an offer, and it's 10,000 less. I'd say we roll with it, and they did.
Okay. Okay.
Do you think that buyer was interested in the home aside from the price?
No, but I have a client that's interested in the house that I talked to yesterday, and he's going to call me back this morning. They're very interested in the house, but I know it's the price. I knew it was the price going in. He wanted to be at 925. I told him no. I got him down to 875. I personally think it should be at 825, 825, where it should be at, and that's what I told him. So, but he's in it a bunch of money. He's done a lot of stuff to it, so it's just one of those things where um, I'm most likely. It sounds like I need to have a price drop conversation with him in the next day or so, because we've been on for 2 weeks and we had one showing.
Why are they moving?
He wants to relocate to. It's not a very strong why. He wants to relocate to Eastern Washington or to the coast. So he takes care of his parents. He has elderly parents that live there, and he's a single adult male, round our age. So
Gotcha.
the why is not that strong, and that's
Right.
my challenge with this as
Right.
well.
I mean, the facts are the facts. I mean, you're at that part of the market that it's really challenging, no matter what price point, right? Because it's just a little slower on the higher end market,
Mhm.
and so you just got to lay it on the line. This is what we're dealing with, and your suggestion, and then throttle,
See what happens.
sit back and see what happens. That's all you can do.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Jim.
Facts and data, and the decision's yours.
Okay.
Any suggestions, Nicole? Any additions? Some thoughts?
I mean, it sounds like you kind of know what the problem is already with the price is kind of what it sounds like. So I don't know. I think that's your best bet, is just really talking to them about that and laying it out to them. If you haven't had a lot of showings and the only comment was about price, that's what I think.
Okay, good. Having the pricing conversation with a seller, they have it, from my experience, some of them have a tendency of not wanting to believe me. And that's okay, because they have a very strong belief in their own self about what it is they feel that they would pay for the property. And so the process of that movement from them believing in their price when no one else does, because the results are obvious. No one else believes in your price except for you. That's a hard something for them to swallow. So introduce, if you haven't already, your weekly sales meetings with them. Position yourself, because this is a negotiation. You are representing them, but you're also representing their understanding their position and your position in this relationship. Their position is the owner. Your position is the sales representative. I'm not saying anything we don't know, but I want to, when I'm in these situations, you may have heard me say this before, is that you have hired me as your sales director. I'm the vice president of sales for this product. And my responsibility in this relationship is to provide you with the information necessary to help you move this from the shelf to the cart, to the checkout stand, to the parking lot, to where it's no longer in my store. Okay. So here's the data points that we need to analyze and realize. And so every week I create a report about the number of hit counters of what has sold in the marketplace within a 5-mile radius or more in that price range, and analyze to see if there's been any price adjustments. It does take a little bit of work, about 35 minutes to 45 minutes to put together these reports, but I present.
Quick suggestion on report. Sorry to interrupt, but List Track in the Zone site, if you go to your one login, puts all those reports together for you.
Yeah.
For your listing.
Yeah, I get it.
Track.
Rochelle, those reports only from social media platforms.
Oh, they're not from the MLS. Are you sure?
They are, but they're not going to be able to. I'm not. I pull the information from recent solds from the date that it was listed, from list date till today, and then they can see the week 1 report. Okay, these properties have sold, these properties are pending, these properties have been pending inspection, and these are your competition for active. Week 2, same report. Okay, now this is the number of actives, these are the number of pendings, these are the number of pending inspections. You can see that the number of actives has not changed. In fact, the number of active listings went from 6, now there's 9 active listings. Nothing has been reported pending in the last 2 weeks. Here we are at week 3. We have, we still have 9 active listings, but there's a listing that came on that went sold quickly, and look at its price. And so I just take a look, and every week they can see that no other properties are selling, and they can start to see these price reductions and patterns where properties do sell fast if they're priced correctly, and properties do sell once they're reduced. And so the feeling is, I don't want to leave any money on the table. Once you come out with a price of 875 and then you got to come down to 825, what you're feeling is, I've left $50,000 on the table, which is, a matter of fact, absolutely incorrect in your thinking. Is that, imagine starting out at 825, always thinking that you could get 875. So now we're working our way down, but how long you stay up here will eventually reduce the amount that you're going to get down here. And I'm speaking to you as your director of sales. So it's your product. You can keep it on the shelf as long as you want. I want to be in this career for the next 20 years. I'm not sure if you want to keep that house that long.
Yeah, I'll add that to the weekly ones. Thanks, Todd.
And then they can start to see, I mean, those reports wear them down. And I'm real positive about it. Look at everything else. And once they start to see other properties selling around them, they get, I mean, what do you think it is, Manny? I'll put it back to you. What do you think is not causing your home to sell after 4 weeks of these reports?
I don't know, but it's the price. From what these reports say, it's the price.
All right. So do you want, I mean, and then that enters that dialogue. And so that helps them start to change their belief when you present it with what it is you're seeing, and then what it is that they can see as well. Every week I'm come out here and we're not sold, and there's other properties selling, or there's no properties selling.
Right.
Okay. There's nothing that's selling in this price range.
Right. Then we got a better, okay. Now,
and the inactivity is in of itself a measurement.
Okay.
It's another form of measurement. And well, I don't want to drop. And sometimes, depending upon how bold you want to be with your seller and how much rapport you have with them. But sometimes I'll say, I'm going to talk to you as your director of sales now, because I think there's information I think you need to hear, and I need to make sure that on whether or not you want to believe it or not, you are still the highest bidder on your property. We do get your home sold every day. I've sold your home every day for the last 23 days for full price. I've sold it every day for the last 23 days at full price, and you have been the winner of that bid every day.
That's a good one. Well, it kind of puts it into perspective.
Yeah. We can laugh about it, but it's not funny, but that's sort of where you need to be mentally as we move forward. Now, if you decide that you don't want to sell, I get it.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Todd. Thanks, everyone.
Know your customer.
Yeah. I've done the reports. I've sent the list track, but I haven't done the nearby. I haven't done the sold, the pending, and the active. I haven't put that in the reports, but I sent them weekly reports of what's going on the from the list track and all that.
And thank you, Rochelle, for bringing that up. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, thank you.
It is different than what you were talking about, though.
Thank you. Okay.
And
good.
Well, now
if you
it's
can,
9:28.
I would suggest
Jim?
meeting with them in person and going
Absolutely.
over it together, because it's going to be a difficult conversation.
Okay.
And do you think that it's like the market is shifting downward? Because I've talked to a lot of brokers who are like, my listing's not selling, I'm not getting any showings. Is it just like...
No, I don't think so. Take a look at those Monday market watches. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look at the Monday market watch. There are still, more sales made than listings, except for in King County for the last 2 weeks. However, there's been an excessive amount of price reductions on a weekly basis. In particularly in the north counties of Skagit and Island, the number of price reductions equals the number of new listings on a weekly basis.
Wow.
And there is approximately, based upon the number of new listings reported every week, approximately there is 70%. The number is almost 70%. Not to say that those new listings reduce, but the number of price reductions is close to 70% of the number of the new listings that are coming on. So sellers are continually overpricing their properties. So price reductions are a natural part of your marketing in order to get a property sold. Price reductions are normal. Buyers are not freaked out because of that. However, over 35 to 45 days on the market, that becomes a little bit shop worn. And you want to make adjustments in three fashions. This is how I introduce it. You can step, you can jump, or you can leap. There's 3 levels of price adjustments: a step, jump, or leap. And they'll say, well, what do you mean by that? I go, each one has a different dollar amount. You want to step, do you want to jump, or do you want to leap?
So do those have like a dollar amount?
Yep, and they almost always take the jump. They take the middle one.
Huh.
Step, jump, and leap.
Why do you think they always take the middle one?
It's natural process of decision making. It's neutral.
One thing,
And
I
that's
would
generally
say,
the one that
So make the jump the price I need to be at.
Right.
well, I mean, you think about it. I would have when I talk about stepping, you know, when a buyer is looking on the market, and you know they're as savvy today as you are as a seller, Anna, and so they're going to see the multiple steps that we've been coming down. They're going to realize we're chasing the market, and when we do get a buyer to come in, they're going to see us stepping down. They're gonna come in with a low ball offer. Stepping may not be the right decision for us. And
Right.
I understand where you're, you know, if we do the leap, I understand that, you know, going from 875 to 8.25, yeah, that's a chunk of change. And I'm with you. You've you got the mindset you don't want to be leaving money on the table. And so obviously we've got the jump, and so instead of going to 8.25, you know, maybe we could do 845, 835, and kind of soften and find the happy medium.
Yeah. Well, I always look at it, the longer that stays, the longer the property stays, you know, in the listing mode, the more money I think you're losing in the long run.
No,
Because what if you have to relist it?
well, not necessarily in this market. This is actually normal. Home selling within hours is abnormal, and so we've
Right.
had years of that, and now we're getting back to where it's been on the market for 2 weeks, and oh my God, it's not selling. It's not selling. Mantil, I mean, come on.
I wasn't really talking about this market, but
You know, I
I
mean,
don't.
I would, you know, the thing when I hear Mantil tell me he has one showing, that worries me. You know, if you've gotten traffic, if you had been getting 2 or 3 showings, maybe 4 a week, you know, I'd maintain. It's the traffic that concerns us. One showing in 2 weeks is not good. Or the open house traffic being just neighbors says a lot too.
I've heard somebody once say also 10 showings in 14 days means you're 10% overpriced if it's not sold.
10 showings in 14
Oh,
days.
wow. 10 showings.
10 showings in 14 days means you're 10% overpriced if we haven't received an offer or no interest.
Yeah, I could see that.
Just, I've heard that dialogue before.
I mean, you've had 10 showings. You would think that, I mean, that feedback is obviously going to tell you something. And
Okay, so
yeah.
listen to the other side of that quarter though. The other side of that quarter is, Mr. Seller, Mantiel, if we don't have, in the beginning, if we don't have 10 showings within 14 days, that means we're 10% overpriced. On the other side of that quarter means if we have no showings in 14 days, we're probably 20% overpriced.
Mm.
I agree. I've heard that before as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just more dialogue. Just more dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right.
Good luck.
Everyone. I got a lot of good information. I'll be ready for my meeting.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jim.
See you
Thanks,
guys.
everybody. Okay. Bye.
Thank you.